Good morning, all. Hope you're well and safe. Yesterday was quite an interesting day. After a number of rumors and discussions, Rishi Sunak has delivered a sort of mini budget. A number of packages and schemes were announced yesterday. In the Chancellor's summer statement, he hopes these schemes will kickstart the economy. Now, as great as these schemes are, the devil will always be in the details. Hence, more information will be provided in the coming days. These schemes will give businesses access to a near £30 billion in funding. This is on top of the £160 billion already injected through other schemes, such as business interruption loans, bounce back loans, the coronavirus job retention scheme, and council tax grant funding. We will know more on how these schemes will be funded in the autumn statement later this year. So let's have a look at the schemes mentioned yesterday. We have the job retention bonus scheme, which follows the furlough scheme, the Kickstart scheme to help young people get into work, changes to training and apprenticeships, changes to stamp duty, the reduction in the VAT rate, the eating out scheme, and finally, the green investment scheme. Let's have a look at the job retention bonus. The furlough scheme will wind down totally at the end of October. A job retention bonus scheme has been announced to encourage employers to retain their furloughed employees. Employers will be paid a £1,000 bonus to retain their furloughed employees, provided the furloughed employee has been kept employed through to January 2021. There is a caveat for this bonus. The employee brought back must be paid an average of £520 a month between November to January. So, as attractive as the scheme sounds, you do need to take into account the costs associated with this. From September onwards, employers will have to start contributing towards their furloughed employees' wages at the rate of 10% in September and 20% in October. Then, full wages need to be paid through November to January. So, if business picks up, it will be a really good incentive. If it doesn't, though, the cost of keeping the employee on will far outweigh the £1,000 bonus, which is expected to be paid in February 2021. Further details about the scheme are to be announced by the end of July. Now, let's have a look at the Kickstart scheme. The Kickstart scheme is where the government has announced they will pay the wages of young, new employees. The scheme will run for a 6-month period. There is no upper ceiling on the number of places or jobs that will be available under the scheme. But to qualify, the employee must be claiming universal credit, be aged 16 to 24, and deemed to be at risk of long-term unemployment. The funding for the scheme provided will cover 100% of the wages, including employers' national insurance and pension contributions, at the relevant national minimum wage for 25 hours a week. Now, you as the employer have the option of topping this up at your own discretion. Let's have a look at the changes to training and apprenticeships. As the Chancellor had stated, to further help reduce unemployment, the number of job centre coaches will be doubled, so there is more support available for the unemployed. There are further incentives provided to businesses for each new apprentice they take on. £2,000 for each new apprentice under the age of 25, and where the apprentice is over 25 years old, the payment will be £1,500. Let's have a look at the change to stamp duty. As of yesterday, the stamp duty threshold increased from £125,000 to £500,000. The new threshold will remain until the 31st of March 2021. So this means where individuals are buying a house, no stamp duty will be payable if the house is worth £500,000 or less. Unfortunately, though, on that second home, you will still have to pay your 3% surcharge. Now let's have a look at the reduction in the VAT rate. In hopes of getting the hospitality industry back up and running, the VAT rate will cut from 20% to 5% for food, accommodation, and attractions. This will last for 6 months between the 15th of July 2020 through to the 12th of January 2021. Eligible businesses will be the likes of restaurants, cafes and pubs, hotels, B&Bs, campsites and caravan sites, and attractions like cinemas, theme parks and zoos. Further guidance is due to be published in the next few days as to the scope of this relief. Now, the key points businesses need to be aware of is that they need to make changes to their systems to ensure the correct amount of VAT is charged to customers and declared to HMRC. Sales invoices and VAT receipts need to be updated. Businesses will have to review their existing contracts to implement the change. They will need to decide whether to pass on the savings to customers or keep the prices the same and pocket the savings. Cash flow projections will need to be updated to take into account for the change in the VAT rate. Now, cloud software can help make these changes easy and seamless. We're waiting for further updates from our partners on how they will put these changes in place. Now, the ETOT scheme. The scheme is a further measure to help boost the hospitality industry. It will run during August from a Monday to Wednesday. Now, the way the scheme would work is that participating businesses will be able to offer a discount of 50% off food with a cap of £10 per person. A website is set to launch this coming Monday on the 30th of July for businesses to register. Claims will be made through this website. It's anticipated the money will be in businesses' bank accounts within 5 working days of the claims being made. And finally, green investment. As announced, the government will provide access to a £3 billion fund for decarbonising housing and public buildings. The scheme is expected to start in September this year. Out of the £3 billion, £2 billion will be allocated to poorer families by providing them vouchers worth £5,000 and up to £10,000 to retrofit their homes with insulation to help cut carbon emissions. The remaining £1 billion will be allocated to public buildings to help make them greener. Well, that's the end of our presentation. A great number of positive schemes were announced yesterday, though, as always, the devil will be in the details with such schemes. So we're expected to get more information in the coming days. My name is Kunal. I'm the Director of Thames Williams. If you have any questions on how we can help support your business, do not hesitate to contact us with the number provided here. You can send an email to our normal email address, inquiries@thameswilliams.com, or you can have a look at our website. Have a great day.